Greetings and welcome to numanursery.com. Have you ever heard of the moringa tree? Native to India and Africa, moringa is an ancient tree that has been eaten for thousands of years as a staple food vegetable. Even today, the nutrient-rich leaves and seeds are used to help combat malnutrition around the world. A daily serving of moringa can help boost the immune system and helps to prevent many illnesses. Moringa is even a complete source of plant-based protein. Now and every Monday, receive an extra 20% off your online order of local Moringa Tree products. Use code Moringa Monday at checkout. Visit numanursery.com today. Thank you so much for visiting. Use Moringa in teas, smoothies, or an additive to any meal. I'm Kendrick Henry. For more information, call me directly. My number is on the numanursery.com website. Peace and prosperous growing. But we are live. Travis, what's up, my brother?
What's up?
Cheers.
I already pounded mine while you were busy,
We should have moringa tea, but I got some moringa
For
smoothie
sure.
right here.
Yeah. I just got some classic water.
Well, we got a few minutes to get this going. Welcome. Thanks for coming out. Welcome to Numa Farms, man.
It's good to be here.
Yes, it's good to have you, brother. Wow. That was a lot just to get ready. But we made it, man. I love you, bro.
We're out here.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, right back
Thank
at
you.
you.
Thank you. So who are you?
I'm a person that they call Travis Young.
Nice. I'm glad you're here, brother, man.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about yourself. Like, where'd you come from?
St. Pete, born and raised.
Nice. I love St.
Born
Pete.
and raised. It's a good spot out there. More in like it was in like an unincorporated area, so I had no laws on me.
No laws.
No laws in the unincorporated area. It's like in between Largo and Seminole, but still in St. Pete. And I would just have a lot of fun out there
Wow.
as a kid.
I love that area.
Yeah.
It's like beachy. It's kind of retirement community.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of moringa trees, actually.
Really?
Largo, Seminole, Clearwater. Like, I'll be driving down the street in Clearwater, and I'm just like, sighted tree, sighted tree, sighted tree. And I'm like, holy crap, like, they know what's up. What was that? Like, did you ever experience, like, farming or like permaculture or anything like that when you were growing up, high school?
No, it took me a while to get into that. High school, I mean, it was pretty cool actually around the corner from my house. So it was Largo Seminole, but it was like still St. Pete. That's what I was saying. Like somehow it was like all these things in one, and so they just called it like unincorporated. So we didn't have street lights, we didn't have stuff like that. I don't even know how that's like possible.
Y'all had dirt roads back then?
Pretty much.
How old are you? When did you
Nah,
graduate
I'm
high
kidding. Well, I figured out how to live forever, so I'm actually like 2,000 years old.
Mm.
But
I
we
love
won't
that.
talk about that.
I say that all the time. I'm actually like 94 years old.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. They're like, wow,
Yeah.
you look good. It's the moringa.
No, but there was actually a cool little spot around the house. I mean, I was always surrounded by a bunch of woods, and then people had like, and then that's why it was weird because it was unincorporated. Because you could have like a horse farm in the middle of the neighborhood, and then further back in the neighborhood there was a rescue. So this guy would rescue like hurt animals, and we would just go over there and just check them out. There's like baboons and tigers and bears
Oh
and
my
lemurs
gosh.
and stuff. So we were just always just peering through the fence.
You saw Tiger King?
Oh yeah.
Tiger King
I
was
think
back
he
in
was
it?
out there. I think he
Oh
was his
my God.
cousin.
Oh, snap.
And like we would always live. It's like a joke because that freaking baboon out front, bro. He would like chill. He would like pace around. He would look at you, and then all of a sudden, like he might freak out, bro, and he would just like start slamming the roof, and we would all just run off because we didn't want to get attacked by a baboon.
This is crazy. In your neighborhood.
Yeah, in the
This
neighborhood.
is Florida.
Yeah, you just walk this back neighborhood, and there it is. You know what I mean? So I didn't have farms, but we had a lot of woods and everything that we could go hang out and then go visit Tiger King's cousin and do stuff like that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I didn't get into any of the permaculture stuff until older.
That's when
Probably
like we
not
met.
even until right around there, like a couple of years before that, I just started figuring some things out. My mom was always big. It was like funny. She was always big into like regular ornamental plants and stuff like that. She never really did food or fruits or anything like that, but she just always had like a really awesome yard that she took care of and had all these cool like exotic plants and stuff. So I guess I kind of watched her doing it while she was growing up.
Nice. Your mom's cool.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to have. Shout out to the good mamas out there.
Shout out to mamas, man.
Couldn't do it without them.
I love getting to know people's moms
Mhm.
because I can see some of those things carry down, especially like Ariel and and learning about your mom and all my
Mhm.
friends' parents, like always just learning about their parents was always like, am I gonna be like my dad when I grow up? And like I find myself more like my dad every day, and I'm just like, I embrace it, and I'm like, knowing that I can handle myself a little bit better. So um, that's cool that you're close with your mom and your family. Where do you stay now? You pretty much live in Tampa?
Yeah, I'm in Tampa just because rent is cheaper there than St. Pete.
Yeah,
Like, I want
yeah,
to be back in St. Pete, but the house that I have would be like 3 times the amount that I'm paying right now. So
yeah.
we got the family. We need a little bit of space. I can't live in a studio apartment in St. Pete for $1,200. Like, that's
No,
just
no.
not gonna kick it. It's not gonna
That's when we
fly right
met.
now.
Like you were in St. Pete. We met like in 2016,
Mhm.
2017. We were kind of hanging out a bit,
I
and then
think
you,
we were in like we had like a little cabin spot. It was pretty cool.
yeah.
And even then, still like St. Pete, it was like in the middle of the city. There's just this little tuck of woods that this lady had like a little cabin in.
Well, I
We were
remember when
staying
you
there.
had a house in
Yeah.
St. Pete.
Mhm.
You're picking coconuts. You're having a good
Yeah.
time. You got spread, and then all of a sudden, you go, "We're gonna go live in a cabin in the woods in
Oh yeah, we
Ocala."
did that too.
I'm
Yeah.
like, "What?" You're like, "Yeah, we got this tiny home, and you just stayed in the cabin." Like,
Yeah, it's in my dad's house actually. He has like 15 acres up in Brooksville,
wow.
and we're just like, yeah, we're tired of the city. Let's fuck it. Let's move out to the woods. And I bought like a little rent-to-own shed thing, and we just remodeled it. So it was basically just like a pimp ass master bedroom, but it was small as shit, bro. It was 10 by 16, so I was living in 160 square feet for like
A
eight
year?
months. Yeah,
Wow.
close to a year. Yeah, 8 or 10 months.
With your wife?
Yeah, and so that was just like the trial and tribulations there. Like it showed us that we can survive with anything because in there wasn't a shower, there wasn't a kitchen, there wasn't a bathroom. So that was just we just came in there to hang out and sleep. And if we wanted to go to the bathroom, we had to walk out. And I made a little outdoor shower. And then my dad had a like bathroom that was there already, outdoor bathroom. And then we were using our freaking food truck as a food like a
That's
kitchen.
right. That's right. You guys
Yeah,
have a food truck and
yeah.
everything. Like,
Yeah, we were using that for the kitchen, so everything was separate. You just had to like walk to the next thing. But it was cool. It was a good experience.
nice.
But it was just like really close, you know what I mean? So it just like proved us that if we can live in 160 square feet, like we can get through the rest of life
Oh yeah,
perfectly fine.
I love that. I love just getting started with somebody. Like, get to know the person that you're with, and you guys did it. Like, you guys are proof. You guys are gonna last forever.
Yeah,
That's awesome, bro.
it's pretty cool.
Getting more stable, and so what are you doing now with like just with anything? I know you're in a band.
Yeah, I'm trying to do too many things. I feel like
Yeah,
at
just
sometimes, but
yeah,
yeah,
just
I'm
gotta
learning
chill.
to manage it all. But yeah, in the essence, it's band. I've been doing that since 8th grade. So I did 8th grade concert band. And it's funny because like music has literally brought me like my whole life, and I almost didn't have it at all because I
Really?
was like, man, what am I gonna do? I remember seeing like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I did like all sports growing up, like soccer and baseball and football and stuff. And then I was like, yeah, band sounds pretty cool. I'll give it a shot. In 8th grade, and they put me in advanced band, and I was like, whoa, it's like reading Chinese. You're trying to read music, and I'm like, I have no clue what this is, and I was just like completely overwhelmed. But for some reason, the teacher, he was a percussionist too, and he just like, he knew what was going on. He was just like, hey, I can see that you have something there, and if you're willing to work with me and like really work hard, like, I'll teach you this and I'll catch you up within like a couple months and you can be ready to go. And I was
Really?
like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, man, just trust me. And I was like,
With
okay.
percussion?
Yeah, and everything. It was like I was playing bass drum and snare. When you're in like concert
Oh
band,
yeah.
you don't just play a drum set. You play like a bass drum or a snare drum, and then like xylophones and marimbas and little bells and whistles and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
basically like a percussionist. But he just taught me how to read music and how to play and form and everything within like 3 months, and I was just like that, where it takes kids like 2 or 3, 4 years to
Yeah.
learn all the basics to get to advanced
Yeah.
band, and they
Yeah.
just threw me in the deep end. And it's like, here you go.
And you
You know what I
started in
mean?
eighth grade.
Yeah,
Wow. I
yeah,
remember starting band in second grade.
yeah. That would have been awesome. I was
Yeah.
always hoping for that too, like my elementary school, and they didn't have it.
Hmm.
And then I don't even know why. I guess I was doing sports for sixth and seventh, so I didn't do it in there. And then I was just like, yeah, let's try out band 8th grade. And so then thankfully he caught me up, and it was just like really exciting and really fun, and I just ran with it. And then went to high school, and the same thing. It's like, okay, well, you want to play football or baseball, or you want to do band? And it was like it's like a turning point in my life at high school as like a child, and I'm like, whole life is in front of me. You know what I mean? Am I gonna do sports? Am I gonna do music? And I was like, boom, I'm doing music.
Wow.
And so I did that through high school, concert band and marching band, and
Did it keep you out of trouble?
it actually did. Yeah, it was like the biggest blessing in disguise
Yeah.
ever, because I'm like halfway across the state for a marching band competition, and my friends are calling me up like, let's party, bro, there's 7 parties going on. And I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to be there, but I'm on the other state, on the other side of the state, in a
Yeah.
freaking competition. So, and like I remember like being sad too. I'm like, oh, I want to be partying, I don't want to be doing this dumb shit.
Yeah.
And sure enough, thankfully for the good old moms, like there was a point where I actually wanted to quit too, in like 11th grade. She's like, no, like you got to see this. This was the only time she ever like enforced me to see something through and like not give up on it when I wanted to. I guess she could see it too. That was the next person that saw it, where it was just like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, don't just give up on it that
Moms.
easy. Yeah, I know,
Every
holding
day.
strong. And then so I started. It's funny, like drum set, because I started it in like 9th grade. Good old mom, she bought me a drum set, and all of
Wow.
her friends were like, "You're crazy. You gonna let some kid have a drum set in your house?" You know what I mean? Like full drum set. I'm just slamming. And I did it for probably only like 6 months, because it was actually, I remember the first time I saw a drum set was my next door neighbor. I just like heard it, and I've always done percussion, but I had never actually like heard a drum set live. And I
Mm.
just, the next door neighbor was a drummer. He had bands and stuff, and I was just like, what is that, dude? I could just hear the power. And I went over there. My brother was friends with him, so we uh we just walked over there, and he was playing, and it was just like this immense amount of power, like this just wave. And I'm like, whoa, dude, these drums have, like, if you put it all together in a drum set, there's some serious like power and some
Mm.
energy there. And then
High vibes.
that's when she got me the drum set. And then I played, like I said, only for like 6 months, and then I stopped. And then I didn't pick it up again until after high school, because then it was like music was done, and then I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? I tried out for the USF drum line, and they're like, oh, they wanted me to play cymbals or something. I'm like, I'm not a cymbal player, dude. You
No.
put me, I'll play bass. Like my main instrument is snare. That's what I wanted to play, and I guess I don't know. I just wasn't up to par. It's kind of like a hierarchy thing in
Yeah.
college. I think you have
Yeah.
to start here and like work your way up, and it was just kind of like a egotistical thing, I guess, in my head, where I'm like,
Totally.
I'm not gonna fucking march around with cymbals and play cymbals, you know. So then
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Did you ever go to college?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't. That was another whole musical journey in a sense too, because I did regular USF, and I just got my whole basic degree, like all the gen ed stuff. I did like the 60 credit hours or whatever
Mm-hmm.
in AA. And then same thing, another turning point. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to go for math or science or any of this dumb stuff. And not that any of that's dumb, but
No,
it
yeah.
just wasn't interesting to me. It was just still a music focus. And then I was like, well, what am I gonna do? And then the kid that, well, I got to rewind, because after high school, that's when I started playing again. And then so I had like a couple bands with a couple different friends and stuff. And then it was 2 years that we were just kind of like messing around, joking around. Nothing was really serious. So that was up to like 2010. And then
So you graduated in '08?
yep.
Nice.
And then went to USF right after that and did the 2 years there. And then that's where I was at like another turning point. And so there was nothing really serious. I was just playing around. We would kind of joke around and make some songs here and there. But I was still like kind of playing. Still, so I still wasn't even taking it serious till 2 years after high school. And then that's when they had the Mira program at SPC. It's
Mm.
the Music Industry Recording Arts.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's why I was like, oh, this is great. And then one of the guitar players was like, yeah, this program's awesome. Come take it. And so that's what I did. I went to go do that for 2 years. And that was cool. It was they did everything. They taught you like music marketing and the business, and
Oh,
I was
nice.
really grateful for that too, because they had like a really awesome lawyer, and she taught like the whole business. And she's
Mm.
basically like,
It's deep.
yeah, because you could go into a recording studio and be like, yeah, we're recording here, and they'll be like, okay, cool, sign these papers,
Mm-hmm.
everything's good. And then you could literally sign the paper, and now they own all your music that you
Yeah.
just recorded there.
Yeah.
And people are that freaking shady, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know about it. Or like somebody could be contracting you to make music for a really awesome movie or something, and you could be like, oh yeah, here's $10,000. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's great, I'll sign off for that. A one-time payment of $10,000. Whereas if you would have worked in the royalty thing, you would have got maybe $5,000 up front, but every month, every time somebody plays that movie in the theaters or Netflix or whatever, you'd be getting paychecks from that. So it's like
Right.
just opening your mind to the whole entire business. That lady was
Wow.
cool. And then we had like live sound, where we'd have to go to venues and like run the sound and operate the sound and stuff. And then they taught us how to do the studio, so we were in the
Wow.
recording studio working all that stuff and knowing how to run a band. And then they kind of tried to do marketing and promotion, but they didn't really have a. I was kind of in like the ground phase of that program getting started too, so it wasn't really refined and honed in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's that. But then through all that, we were with the band, and that's when we were
So
like
that's when you
taking it
started your
serious.
band?
Yeah, 2010. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been 10 years
10
now.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are
It's
awesome.
crazy. I know.
You guys
Thanks, man.
jam. You guys are like just in tune with each other. I can just feel like they're looking at you and in the back there, I like how you're like elevated because then like I see you scanning. I see you scanning each person as they're going across,
Yeah.
and it's just like wow, like and seeing you because you're a presence on stage,
Yeah.
like I'm glad that they put you up so that way they can see you,
Yeah.
and so that way because like you're literally like commanding the audience and like you'll just like put your sticks up and you'll just like yeah like I
Yeah.
get the chills even just thinking about you because you're amazing.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That spot is like, it really is like the orchestrator of everything. Like, a guitar player could mess up, play a wrong chord, or play a note, or just completely not play at all. And like the basic audience wouldn't really know. They wouldn't be like, oh, well, why did the guitar player stop? Something's wrong, you know what I mean? And they could just totally get away with just messing up completely. But if I screw up a beat or miss a beat or stop, then everyone out there
The whole
knows
song is off.
the whole song is off. But even if there's like if there were playing for 10,000 people, all 10,000 of those people are like, oh,
Hear that.
something's wrong.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And you got to get and you got to
know what I
get
mean?
back
Yeah, I
on
gotta
that.
figure out how to do it, or I just have to like know and just trust myself and know that I'm not going to do that because I thankfully knock on a bunch of wood like that's never ever happened. And I've even like been in times where I've like, oh, there goes my stick, and
Oh
I'm playing with
shit.
like one hand until I can like find out where my stick went, and then the bass player will throw it to me, or like I'll just have to pick one off of my drum bag that's like laying on the
No
ground while
way.
I'm playing. Yeah.
We got to be prepared for that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. I know. And sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But yeah, I don't actually ever really drop sticks either because I had back in high school a marching instructor. He's like what changed the game because it was all kind of lackadaisical, and then he came in the last year and he's like, "You got to practice, bro. If you want something, you got to put in the work." And like, he was just hammering us, and it was so great. Shout out to my boy John Lavera if he ever watches it, but that guy
Heck
like
yeah.
instilled some serious
Shouts to
practice
John
at
Lavera.
my dude. But we actually when it rained, everybody would have to go inside, and we're all like, "Yeah, it's raining because it's hot as crap out there. We don't want to be marching in the heat."
Oh.
And he's like, "No, no, we're still out here." We're like, "It's raining, dude." And he's like, "No, no, we're still out here." And we had to literally just march the football field track for like another hour and a half in the rain because
Wow.
basically he was saying if you can play and march through the rain, you're not going to fall and you're not going to drop your sticks in the rain, then you'll never do it regularly ever.
So it got you.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
trained
So
you.
I'm like, yeah, if I can play in the rain and my hands are all slippery and I don't drop the sticks, then I'll
Nice.
never really drop the sticks.
Dang.
It's only happened like once or twice live playing drums, but that's just because like I don't know, I have an off cymbal placement or something, and I'll go to raise my hand and it'll catch the cymbal and the drumstick will go flying. But then I just keep it going. But yeah, basically like the drummer is the whole entire band. Like the whole band is only as good as the drummer, basically.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And your lead singer is amazing.
Yeah,
Like
everybody else
your
is great.
pianist is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Like
we couldn't get by
he's
without
funky.
everybody else.
He's
Yeah.
got that funk, man. The way he's got that voice too with it, it's like
Mhm.
he's got a little high pitch, and then
Yeah.
you've got your singer, and
But yeah, that's what it is. The drummer's like the foundation, and then they just build this really awesome house around it, and they put on like they're the ones that are in there making the awesome tile mosaics and all these really cool things that are part of the house, you know. And that's what they do. Like, so it's like the drummer is like, okay, cool, we can build something really awesome because it's nice and stable. It's not going anywhere. It's not wavering. It's not breaking. It's not cracking or anything. So the drummer, if they lay down the solid foundation, then the band can like make something really awesome. And that's what they do, yeah. But then it was a long evolution of bands because it was like we started we started as three people, me, a guitar player, and a singer, and we did tours in freaking Hot Topic back in the day.
no way.
Yeah, they would do
You
Hot
did Hot
Topic tour.
Topic?
Yeah, I did a
Holy
Hot Topic tour, bro. That was my claim to fame. It was
in
just
the
like,
malls, just
yeah, it was just like me on a djembe and a guitar player and a singer, and like all these people are coming in, like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean?
nice.
So it started as that, and then we lost that singer, and we got Reed. That's who we're with now. And then we found Taylor, the bass player, so we still have him. Then we had, I don't know, the guitar player had his own things, and he wanted to go part ways or whatever. And then it was just me, Reed, and Taylor, and we're like, oh, what are we supposed to do? Like, there's another turning point. It's like, we're not going to stop music, because it was just, like, weird, because we built this really awesome thing and, like, played a lot of good shows with that stuff. We did, like, 97X Next Big Thing, and we did, like, their backyard barbecue, and we won all these contests, and, like, it was,
Wow.
like, building, and then just dropped out from under us, and we're like, oh, crap. And then there was the next turning point. It's like, well, like, can we keep going? Can we keep doing this? And then thankfully they still had the drive, and we pushed through it. Then we got a percussion player, and then we got Mark, the keyboard player, and then we got another guitar player. And then that percussion player and that guitar player left, and then we have the two guitar players that we have now, Mike and Elliot.
Wow.
And then Mark's a keyboard player. And then that's a solid crew
It's
that
solid.
it's going to be for a while now, the 6-piece. But me, Reed, and Taylor have been together for 10 years now.
Wow.
And then it's just building everybody else.
Yeah.
And
You're
then,
a builder, man. I can see this. So I found out that you're a Libra.
No.
No,
Gemini.
a Gemini.
Yeah.
You're like my dad.
Yeah.
My mom is a Libra.
Mhm.
My dad is a Gemini.
Yeah.
And I feel like we vibe very well together because of that kind of like, that relationship between
Mhm.
my parents. And you remind me a lot of my dad too.
Yeah.
Like my young dad.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, that's music. Music is an essence, and then I'm trying to think of where any of this even came in. I'm trying to think of like the first thing that like sparked my interest in the food and growing and things like that. I'm trying to scan my brain where it was. Like my mom did it, like I said, and then I don't know if there's like a pivotal moment to where it was like, oh, this is great. Let me start growing my own stuff. I think it was just like, I was just realizing that I could. I'm like, oh, mango trees, that are pretty cool. I can put one in my own yard. Yeah, I'll do that. That's kind of cool. And it was just like a Pokemon thing at that point. It's like, I just got to catch them all. I can have banana trees. That's cool. I can do that. I can do that. And I
Yeah.
just like started getting into it. And then I think the music scene kind of helped too, because it just like kind of flowed with that, especially like the scene that we were in is just like really about sustainability and things like that, and growing your own food and stuff. So then it just kind of started building from there, and then that's where that passion came for food and just getting educated on different things about like how like factory farming and all those things are really bad. And what's up, frogs? You
Yeah.
don't like factory farming either?
Yeah, frogs
Yeah.
are going ham right now.
They're like, nah, get that factory farming out of here, bro. But now that I do remember one point for nutrition though, where it was my friend Jake Poulin. He was like, we were at a party or something, and I was just looking at him. I was like, what is going on with you, dude? This dude was like literally like glowing green. It was like the first time I felt like I could see some kind of
Aura.
like aura to him, and it was like,
Yeah.
you're literally just like bright green right now. Like, what the? Why are you so different? He's like, oh, it's because I stopped eating meat, and I was just like, what the hell?
No.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I was just blown away. I was like, what do you mean you stopped eating meat? Like, you can't do that. You can't live without eating meat.
No. When was that?
Yeah, that was probably 2010.
No way.
Yeah.
That's way
Yeah,
before I
same
even
time.
realized it.
Yeah, I know, but it took me a minute, because then I was like, well, it just like kind of threw my whole freaking train off the tracks, and I'm like, and then it just got me thinking, like, and then I just started questioning. I'm like, well, why are you doing that? What's this? What's that? Because I just always just been like really inquisitive, to where it's like,
Yeah.
I just question everything, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But
I think
so
that's where I was getting at before, is that I can sense your organization
yeah,
and like the band and the way you're working, and then just the way we're coming together, and then now you're approaching food and the way that
mhm,
you're thinking about it. Like, that's
yeah.
crazy. So what'd you do? Like,
So then I just started researching, just diving in real deep. And then it was a slow process, dude, honestly, because it was like, okay, yeah, I'll drop it all. And then it's like, wait, I can't have like ham and turkey and stuff on a sandwich from a sub. I'm like, that's weird. But then it's just like, I don't know, I just slowly got used to it. I just like dropped the red meat, and then I dropped the chicken, and then dropped the fish and stuff like that. And then yeah, it just started getting me deeper into like all the different superfoods. Like obviously our good friend Miss Moringa here is one of the master superfoods, and
wow.
there's all kinds of other superfoods. So it just started getting me into that.
When did you first hear about Moringa?
I think it was honestly from you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's just a bunch of different superfoods that came along, and then I probably like heard the name before, but I didn't really like understand how awesome it was and everything you could do until I met you like
Mhm.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
But so everything was building with nutrition and that aspect and food and stuff, and then the band was building and everything, and that's why like music is like giving me my whole entire life basically, because then I met at a gig that I wasn't even supposed to play. I
Wow.
mean, you've already heard the story, but we'll tell it again. I just like I wasn't even supposed to play it. Somebody called me up like an hour before, like, "Can you make it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I go there, and then sure enough, like, there's a beautiful girl there, attractive girl, and then the singer's like, "Yeah, come up and sing with us." And she got up and sang, and I was just like all love struck and shit. I was like, and then that's how I met her from that gig, and I wasn't even supposed to be there. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So it's like, and then music has just brought me along the journey of so many different places to experience and things to see and people to meet, and
She's a singer, bro.
yeah.
She can belt it out.
Yeah, I know.
She's an amazing singer.
Thank you. She's really awesome. And then so yeah, that's how I met her. And then she was on the same path with food. And then eventually we went out to Costa Rica.
No way.
Yeah, and then it was just like they're the way of life out there. It's just so
Oh
pure,
yeah.
man. Everybody's growing their own food. You go to a market and it's from somebody's house that they brought all their fruits and stuff from. And just everything is fresh. Like even the coffee was different, bro. Like I don't drink much coffee now. I did back in the day, but like it was black, and I was like, oh, I can't drink black coffee. But for some reason, it was like you were getting the coffee straight from that farm from a couple weeks ago, and you could just drink it black, and it was like pure and perfect. And then so we came back from Costa Rica and wanted to bring back that vibe, and then we started our food business, and we called it Pure Vita Organics.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and then like we just went in blind, bro. The first event, we're just like, yeah, we can serve 3 or 4 thousand people, no big deal. This is
Right.
fine, you know what
Right.
I mean?
But you
No
did it.
experience. Yeah, we just loaded up 4 or 5 truckloads to one of the festivals that we were playing. So I
Dang.
was double dipping there. I was like vending the festival and playing the music at the same time.
Nice.
So that was a lot.
Well, what did
'Cause
you guys serve on your food? What was your menu?
first one was a lot too. It's like we just basically tried to be a restaurant
But it
as a
was all
food
vegan.
vendor. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
100% vegan.
yeah.
Pura Vida.
Mhm.
Um, and you guys just went to festivals. You got a food truck and
Mhm.
just did it up. I remember getting your food in there, and the food trucks was, oh my gosh,
Yeah, and
like,
that was another thing that built too. It started off by like a little 8x8 tent, and we're like,
yeah.
oh, we can do this. And I don't know. It had some of her famous thing is like the walnut taco meat. So she takes the
Yes.
walnuts and seasons it up with different things and makes it taste like taco meat somehow.
It's amazing.
And then layers that on either nachos or like a rice bowl with other awesome like chipotle and sour cream and cheese, all vegan that she makes from hand. Like,
Dang.
and that's the thing that is like really different from what we do. Is like a lot of not discrediting anyone else's food businesses and stuff, but they'll just go to like a place and buy a can of chipotle sauce or a
Yeah.
can of mayonnaise or a can of cheese sauce or something, you know what I mean, where she's in there busting her ass for a week to make a freaking like 10-gallon bucket of cheese so that we can serve freaking
Wow.
20,000 people, you know.
Wow, man.
But then it just grew because we're like, oh crap, this is really hard. Like it was just we had no idea what we were doing. Like our processes were all off. If we were making a smoothie, the berries were over here and the milk was over here and then the blender was way over there. And so then it just finally got like, hey, we should just all put it in one place right here, you know. And then everything got organized and we got the truck and we started doing bigger festivals. Got accepted in some of the bigger ones like Reggae Rise Up and
Yeah.
like things that are like 10, 20,000 people. All the Veg Fest and stuff like that.
You got in there?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so we were doing that. Thought about some restaurants, but it was never really like the right placement at the right time. We almost got involved with one like a month and a half literally before the corona stuff. So I'm grateful that we didn't there because I feel like that would have tanked us pretty hard.
Yeah.
So that's something that's in the back burner and it's like it's good, but I'm just trying to figure out how to work that, you know, and that's where some music and then the food business came along.
And then
And
did you
then
guys serve moringa in there? Did you ever have any moringa powder or anything in
no,
there?
we didn't. We did a lot of add-ons to the smoothies, and then nobody really like cared about them, so we kind of just like took them away.
I remember saying I was like, we should guys should put like moringa powder in there, and I tried to get my supply up. This was when I was first starting out too,
Yeah.
and I didn't really have a lot of supply to offer people, and so I just remember saying and seeing like your stuff all over the place, going to
Yeah.
festivals, like
Mhm.
awesome stuff. And she's a
Markets and
great
stuff.
cook, man. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
And then yeah, so then we met 4 years ago, and I was just like that's when I was like, whoa, what is this? You're it's like super DIY from the ground, you know what I mean? You're at your friend's house and it's like hanging it up in their living room with like a giant rack, just drying it. And you're like, yeah, man. And
Oh, the
it's just,
leaves.
yeah,
I was just drying the
racks
moringa
and
leaves
racks and
inside.
racks.
You
Yeah, I would
saw it.
just come in and there's all kinds of racks of the leaves just drying there. And then I just saw you in your little corner, like literally like the fridge was here and you had a little tiny desk next to the fridge and you're just packing all the capsules and making the tea bags and making the stickers and boxes and stuff. And just seeing the
I was just
evolution.
getting started.
Yeah, exactly, and just watching the evolution of all of it. That was pretty cool to see that, and that's where I was like, oh, Moringa, that's pretty awesome, you know.
Yeah.
We put one. We had a band house, and then I remember putting a tree. Somebody got a tree. We put it out in the front there. That little
Yeah,
baby's
man.
still going. She's getting big.
And so here we are. I mean, we're getting through this corona. I mean, during that time, you also had a chance to sit still for a second because you were doing lots of gigs and,
Mm-hmm.
you were doing festivals, and then all of a sudden things just stop in March. And that's when, you know, I'm starting to see you more because my girl stays, in the back there.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm coming and going and, we're getting closer, you started saying, hey, like, I gotta put more coals in the fire. You're saying, you gotta start diversifying. You've
Mm-hmm.
got a family now, a young family. Just had a son. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then you see all of a sudden this opportunity to take Moringa to that next level, and here you are. Like, we're working together. Like, this has been an amazing couple months, man. I mean, you're just organized. Like you saying, like the orchestrator for the
Mm-hmm.
band. Like, the way that you're, teaming up with us here and orchestrating even behind the scenes has been really amazing. I'm really glad that you're here. We're here to talk about kind of like our partnership
Mm-hmm.
and the way that we're coming together because you've been helping us behind the scenes, videos, production, audio, sound,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
just the whole organization of it all.
yeah, and then once again, freaking music and food brought me to something amazing. Even before this, before I felt like I could approach you with like an understanding and a thing to like help grow and organize and stuff like that. There's an organization called the Board of Advisors, and it's a really awesome elite mastermind group from people all over the world. And my friend James was out there doing video, and the owner was like, "Hey, you got some awesome vegan food, like." Let me try some, and then we ended up like delivering him food for a couple weeks, and then like so the food introduced me to it, and then I got integrated into his system, and then his live event sound people fell through, and I'm like, well, hey, that's what I do, dude. I can totally run it. So then I started running the sound, and then I've been there for almost probably like 3 years. I think this July will be 3 years. Oh, we're in July, so yeah, 3 years.
Wow.
And then that was like music brought me because I knew how to run the audio. It allowed me to like be in those events and just be around people that are operating at like extremely high functioning
Yeah.
levels, that it just their minds are way open to any possibility ever, and they don't like shut anything down, and all their business acumen is like right in place, and like the systems that they do. And so I was just like sitting back. I'm still there working the audio, but I just sit back and absorb all of it, you know. It's just
Mm-hmm.
being in that energy. You can just take it in and see what people are doing and how they're doing it,
Oh yeah.
and just like releasing the ceiling of yourself, because
Woo!
we all place it, you know what I mean? Like there's a jar that we live in of our own conformity, and like you don't really see outside of it until somebody opens that lid, and then you're like, oh shit, you guys are doing this.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
great, you know.
Yeah.
So then there it is. Music and food brought me to that, and like opened my whole entire mind to something else, because you could easily be a musician that just, and no disregard to any other musicians that enjoy that, but like you could just play the rest of your life at restaurants and bars and just be 50, 60 years old and just keep doing that, you know. And that just like, where I love music, it's just not super interesting to me to be like worrying like, oh, this gig got canceled, so now I can't eat. These couple of gigs got canceled, so now I can't eat. And it's hitting really hard now that the whole freaking corona thing happened, and just everything got wiped out from under me. If I was freaking 50, 60 years old still trying to survive off gigs, and that just wiped out from the floor, then I got nothing. My whole
Yeah.
family's done. I'm going to have to go work somewhere that I don't want to and
Yeah,
like
man.
create a life that I don't want to. So that was like whoa, that was going, and then I just like saw everything because we were hanging out more and more, and I just saw everything you're doing and saw everything, like you could see and feel the energy building from everything that you've done, and just watching you over time, just seeing everything grow and grow and grow and grow, and then you got the farm here, and I just like came out here, and I'm really good at seeing like blank canvases and being like, whoa,
Whoa.
this can be an absolute masterpiece, dude. This thing can be so beautiful, and you already had everything in place, but it's just like inspiring to me to come see everything that you had out here going.
Thanks,
And then
bro.
we just got to talking, and I was literally up one night till like 4 in the morning. It's like sometimes you get those highs and you're just like, oh, this
Yeah.
and that and this and that. I just can't sleep, and then I like try to go to sleep and like think about five other things. And I'm like, oh, I gotta write that down. I gotta write that down. And I was just like buzzing off of it so hard, just like trying to, and it was like kind of fearful, to even just bring it to you and be like, hey, I know you've created this baby for so long, and like you've worked really hard, but you want to open the door a little bit to some of the
Yes.
possibilities that I might be able to show you, and we can like take this beautiful masterpiece that you've created and like take it to another level and another level and another, and like
Oh yeah.
scale and grow and just help you. And so then that's when we started doing that.
It's been a couple months, man, and
Yeah,
we've
four
been
or
hitting
five
it.
months now. Yeah,
Just been
bunch of.
meetings and
Mhm.
organizing, getting the paperwork started for people, and
Mhm.
and 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 you've helped actually us get the phone system set up, the help paying our labor pool, helping to just get our social media locked in, and we just have much more of a focus with your organization. And I remember you saying how like how how just the band and the business and then your love for plants has literally just culminated in this surge of just like information that you're just putting all your pieces together. Like I
Mhm.
remember at a point in time where cuz you just turned 30. You
Yeah.
just had your 30th birthday.
Yeah.
And I remember at like 28, 29, I kind of had that very similar kind of feeling where it's
Mhm.
like there's no more time to waste.
Yeah.
We
You
got to
gotta
get
get it
things
now, dude.
going.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're here, man. This is beautiful. So you've actually, because of what's going on, and your voice, the ability to have a voice,
Mhm.
you teamed up with an organization, right?
Oh yeah, well that was through the board of advisors too. So I met Darren Jacklin, and he's sits on the boards of 4 or 5 different companies and does a lot of awesome stuff. And so he got everything right in his world with finances and built his whole house outright. And then now he's taking it to the next level, and it's really really awesome to see because unfortunately, I don't know why or where it comes from, but sometimes society will program you to think that wealthy people or people that have money are like
Mm-hmm.
evil and negative, and they
Mm-hmm.
just keep it all from themselves and
Mm-hmm.
they don't do anything, and they're just like, this is my money and nobody else can have it. But just being in that organization and seeing some of these people that just give and give and give and give freely, like there's a guy, Mike Clark, that does an orphanage out in the Dominican Republic, and he's housing kids that are like literally almost dead on the streets that somebody's bringing to them, like, please help them, you know what I mean? And he's there fostering those kids. And then there's other people doing other amazing things, like people fighting against like sex traffickers and stuff like that. And these are people that have already built their whole foundation and have plenty of money, and now they're just like, okay, how can I help the rest of the world?
Mm.
And then so another one of those people is Darren, and he has the Linked Foundation, LY2NK, and the goal was to build a sustainable high school out in Uganda, East Africa. And he just like we just talked and talked, and it was really cool that he just kind of lent his like mentorship from time to time. And then it's just like, hey, well, why don't you talk to my friend that's head of the Kids for Africa, which is a sports organization that gives kids sports and education and nutrition out there. And Darren was teaming up with them to create the high school. And then he introduced me to Ben, which is one of the founders of the Kids from Africa, and he was in charge of like the sustainability department. So then he put me on researching like different plants and different beans and different like pumpkins and gourds and maize and
Mm.
stuff. Like he was
Mm.
just saying like, hey, find out what is gonna grow the best out here
You're
in the
kidding.
soil. No,
They put you in charge of that?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, not like 100%, but like in the
Just to help.
research
Yeah.
development,
Yeah.
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 Like, hey, I got some holes here and some holes here. Can you research that? And can you research that? And this and that. And yeah,
Mm.
so I started just just finding out different things that would work for there, and then like different plants that can be in your like wastewater treatment to help aerate it and clean out all the water and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and then different plants that'll survive in like salty environments that'll help clean the soil and stuff, work like that. So I was doing all that just to help out, and then once the COVID hit again, then that got stopped because everybody out there, they're, believe it or not, they're kind of like, their economy is kind of driven by tourism
Mm-hmm.
and people coming in and visiting and stuff. And once that hit, they just went on an extreme lockdown, dude. Like,
Dang.
and it's really bad. Like in the beginning, if you were out when they told you couldn't be out, like you only had a certain amount of hours to go out and to get to the store, but all their local like they operate on still like village markets and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So it'd be like you could walk 10 minutes into the village and there's produce, like local produce people there, but they shut all those down, all the restaurants, all those things locally, so you had to go even further into like a city that would have like a big grocery store, you know. And it was just, it's just hard for them to get out there because nobody really has cars or motorcycles or bikes or anything, so they could barely get out there to get food and stuff. And then on top of that, if they made it all the way out there, then like coming back and there's the time frames that they can't be out, like they're saying that their police were literally just like beating them down with canes.
Dang,
It's
man.
like way worse than here, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
out, we're gonna whoop you until you freaking get back in. And
Dang.
like it's even sad to say, but they were people couldn't get out to the hospitals. So like the guy that I was talking to said that he was watching pregnant ladies like die on the street with
Oh,
their babies and
man.
shit. So it's like it was really, really, really horrible out there, and it's just like eye opening, you know, because even though we're shut down here, it's nowhere near out there, and it's just
Yeah.
like we think we have it bad, but we don't. Like you're not, your wife isn't dying on the street trying
No,
to
man.
give labor. Like you can still get her to the hospital, you know, and so.
You've been outside of the country other than Costa Rica?
Yeah, yeah, Costa Rica and Beijing. I also
Okay.
saw the third world stuff out there. That was really sad to see, like
Asia.
kids being set like
Yeah.
messed up on the streets and all the hustlers and stuff. And then Hawaii was really awesome that I went to. That wasn't poverty, but that was just fun. I'm trying to think of where else. Well, I guess technically not out of the country because Hawaii's still U.S., but
Yeah, but still.
Beijing, Costa Rica, Hawaii. I think there was another one I can't remember.
But
But
just
anyways,
traveling and seeing the outside
yeah.
world for people in general is going to
Mhm.
be very important for people to get a perspective as to how good they have it here.
Oh yeah, totally.
Why does everybody come here, you know? And it's just,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Even though our country can not be the greatest sometimes, it still kind of is the greatest because we have our free choice and our free will, and just like all the amenities that are at hand's reach is really like we take that for granted because it's how easy it is, and
Mm-hmm.
without having it, we don't really know that. So with that big side tangent, yeah, we started raising funds for them out there because they couldn't really eat. So uh, people were just raising funds any way they could. I think we ended up raising like $15,000 or something within like 3 months.
What?
Yeah, for the people out
That's
there in
awesome,
Uganda.
bro.
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
mean,
happy.
there's a giant team of like 30 people that were doing it, so they all did their own little individual things
Yeah,
and just raised awareness for it and stuff.
that's
But then
amazing.
then the band thing really hit me too. Is like I'm always like, man, I'm gonna build the band so I can make a substantial amount of money so that I can help the rest of the world and give back to the rest of the world. And that was always my mindset. And then all of a sudden I looked at it and I'm like, wait a second, I'm trying to wait until I have all this money. But here's this opportunity right now where I could just donate my time and ask our friends and our fans to donate. You know what I
Right.
mean? And like I'm like, wow, I could, even though the difference isn't as big as I want to make it in the future, I can still make a small difference right now, whatever it is. So we just hosted a concert, like a live concert, to take donations to go out there, and we ended up raising like $250 or
I saw
something.
that,
And
yeah.
it's like it's not a crazy amount, but it's $250 would feed almost like eight people or something, 6 or 8 people for a whole entire month out there.
Wow.
So that's like
That's
it's
big.
something, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like a small step to that. So yeah, that's what we were doing with
And that's
them.
really why we're here. And that's really why I wanted to get you on the podcast because I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing behind the scenes with everything, with us here, with your band, you know, with your group, with your entrepreneur group.
Mhm.
And just I see how you're taking charge, man. You're taking control of every situation inside the home, and then outside in your life. And it's just the series of events that have happened and seeing you grow like this has been really beautiful. And I love that you're taking initiative in this battle to take care of the mankind, and all this division and everything, and then you and your band is just bringing us together more, helping, reaching out from Africa
Mhm.
to here, and getting them food and supplies. Like, that's really beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's trying to take charge is the most challenging part, but you just start to realize that you got to do it. Like if you're not going to do it, you can't I just found in my mind that I was making a lot of excuses for why I wasn't doing it, and it was always someone else's reason, like, oh, they did this, so that's why I couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, you didn't do that because you didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the realization that I came to, and it's like, it's challenging. It flies away sometimes, and I have to reel it back in. But it's like, whatever you're trying to do, like, you're the only person that's gonna get it done, and you have to get it done. Like, you can't say you didn't do this because that because of that. Like, you're just making excuses. Just like, get it
Yeah.
done, dude.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
Always.
And
That's
on the spot is like that's like one of my biggest like things that I'm trying to instill, because if you don't do it now, you might not do it later.
Well, we do that all the time in our
Yeah.
meetings. It's like when we come up with something, we're
Yeah.
like, let's just do that right now.
Yeah, we're like phone system, and then you're like, yeah, I'll call him right now.
Right
I'm like,
now.
okay. I'm like, are you
Bam.
sure? You're like, yep, all right, let's do it. You know
Because
what
I
I
had been
mean?
waiting, and
Yeah,
I need to
exactly.
be held accountable. So, like, now that I'm building a team
Mm-hmm.
and people are coming to me, I get to choose
Yeah.
now who I want on the team, because now we have a lot of hands that want to come in, and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I love your vibe. I love
Mm-hmm.
your presence, like just the ability to communicate. I love your enthusiasm, and you're just intrigued. I just remember, the first couple times we met back in 2016. Every time we would talk, like, you're just asking questions, you're intuitive, and then you're connecting the dots, and then it's led you to this,
Yeah.
and now, I mean, Moringa being from Africa, this whole partnership with this group is just the start, really,
Mm-hmm.
because I would love to have ties and have a foundation that we really run with and support, um, as kind of like our partnered, foundation that we kind of like team up with. So I
Yeah,
mean,
and
I'm
that's
thinking,
possible too. That'd be really cool.
yeah,
I mean, they're gonna have 30 acres out there, so
right,
2 or 3 could be moringa, and that could provide food for them, and then could provide money for them for buying it back and stuff.
yeah,
So there's all those possibilities out there. But I just think like another big thing too is like we all just live inside of our head, and like life doesn't happen inside of our head. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Like we make up all these things and we think about all these things and we just like internalize all these things, but nothing's actually going to happen until you like get it out and put it into action, and like do things and stuff. And so I think one of the biggest things that at least what I see has been helpful to you from me coming in is like having someone to bounce stuff off of, because you're in your head creating this like that all this stuff is beautiful, dude. Packaging and all your labels and the quality of everything is like a masterpiece. But when you sit inside your head and you're like, okay, this that, what about this, what about that, what about, and you're not like having anyone to like let that out and like express it and get it out, it feels like it all just kind of like stays in here, because then you can be like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that because that's not worth it, or I'm not going to do this because that's, but when you like have someone to talk to about it all, I feel like it helps. I feel like it's helped you a lot
it
to
has.
just like clear your head a lot and just like open up and breathe a little bit more and just like internalize things and just, well, not internalizing because I'm saying not internalize, but
Yeah,
just bring it out and like make it happen more. And it seems like just from us working together, like everything is sped up a lot better and the team is
it has.
being stronger. And
Mostly here for
yeah,
me, mentally, I've been able to dump
yeah,
all my problems. I have a list of problems, and then I have somebody that's like, "Oh, I'm going to take care of this problem for you."
yeah,
Like, I've needed that for so long. So thank you for just putting yourself in that position. And some people that are maybe watching that are like, "Oh, how come Kendrick didn't give me the opportunity?"
yeah,
Is because they didn't actually, um, maybe make sacrifices, or even just put themselves in that place and say, wherever you need me, I'm here. There's a lot of people that want to come in, but then they have a place where they want to be,
hmm,
and that's fine. And I tell people, you can go wherever you want to be, but you also have to be where we need you right now.
yeah,
And that's kind of where you found yourself.
hmm,
You're like, well, I want to be here. I want to take this part, but we have to do this part, and this part first. And so, like, you're able to start assessing with me these first steps that we can get through, and I have felt so light and free because of your help. It's been amazing.
Yeah, well, thanks for opening. Like I said, I was still like in my head, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's gonna shut that down. That's dumb, you know. Why would he want you to help him? Blah 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 blah. And then like that's where I was just practicing. Like, well, just get the fuck out of your head. Just ask him. Just making requests, because that's another big thing that I'm learning from all this stuff is like just making requests, dude. We've been so
Yes.
scared our whole entire life to make requests.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
like,
universe, man. Just
yeah,
grab it, say, I want this, and the universe will gift it to you.
that's a little bit of a demand. I'm more like a request, like, hey universe, or hey person, like, can you do this? Can we do this? Can we? You know what I mean? Because when we,
True.
I mean, demanding is nice, and like manifesting is really nice. Like, I want this, and you
Yeah.
like internalize it for yourself is nice. But requesting, what I'm talking about is like, I was scared to request to be like to work together with you. You know what I mean? And then you live a smaller, constricted, like numb, just bland life when you don't make requests. And even from small down to big to outrageous requests, like it's just all about making a request. And it's like think about Michael Jordan in form of request, but it's like shooting. Like, if you don't take the shot, you missed it no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what, you missed that shot.
Yeah.
And so requests are like saying he if he freaking shot it and missed, and then just thought in his head the rest of the game, oh, I missed that one. I'm not gonna make any more shots. I'm not even gonna try. Like, he wouldn't be as great as he was. So he just kept making those requests, and I'm requesting this thing to go in, and then like he just got better and better and better at making the request, and then like he just didn't let it take him over. And so when you don't make requests, like, you just limit your life basically, you know. So it's like, here what we're doing can unfold onto something that we have no idea what it's going to be in 5 or 10 years. And like, obviously we make projections to think about how awesome it could be, but it could be 10 times more awesome than we even understand. But I wouldn't even be here if I didn't make that request, like, hey, are you open to this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so many times, like, all of us were just like, oh, well, I can't ask that because they got this going on or that going on. And it's like, just make it. Doesn't matter. Just do it. Just get out there and ask them. If they say no, they say no. Like, it's the same. No is the same answer you would have got from not asking it. And just like, don't attach yourself emotionally to that outcome, and don't make a meaning to that. Like, don't make it mean something for you, because we're just like these meaning making machines. Something
Mm-hmm.
happens, we associate a meaning to that. Like, oh, this didn't happen, so that means this. And then it could have a bad meaning, and then you could sit here and like spiral off into that bad meaning forever and just let your life run it like that. But if you just like don't attach yourself to those meanings, and you just make requests, simple, big, outrageous, whatever it may be, like even the simple ones, so like, hey, could you help me like plant these couple of trees? Like, somebody could say, well, I don't want to plant all 50, but I'll help you with like 10. There's a counter request. You know, you make a request, you can accept, deny, or counter offer. So it's like, just freaking make them, dude. Don't be scared of making them.
Yeah. Well, you
That's
know
where I'm
what?
at.
I didn't tell you this, but the night before you approached me, I did some work. I came out here, the moon was out, and I made a request for more help. I asked for more help. So it was crazy.
The next
The
day?
next day,
Holy crap.
when you came to me, this isn't the first time this has happened to me.
Yeah.
I've had several moments with the moon, and the next day, my command or my request is answered and
Mhm.
gifted. And it may not be the way that I want it to be, but I'm looking at it like, this is what I asked for.
Mhm.
This is exactly what I asked for. And so when you're reading off that list, when you were like, I was up until 4 in the morning, I
Yeah.
just want to read this to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
At the same time, you were up at the same time the last night before, just
yeah,
asking for that.
exactly. And so like when it
That
happened,
energy, that's weird, because that energy was like channeling at the same time then. Because you're asking for all the help, and I'm like, oh shit, here's all the ways I feel like I could help him.
yeah.
At
And
the same time, we didn't even know.
well, how did you feel when you saw me and my reaction?
Yeah.
How did you feel when you were saying that? It was I could see it in your face, like you were being like surprised at every turn at what I was saying, and I was just listening to you
Yeah.
wholly. Like we'll answer one by one eventually, but go
Yeah.
ahead and tell your whole list.
Yeah.
I want to hear this whole
Yeah.
thing. And I didn't even interrupt you. I said, "Come
Yeah.
on, bring it. I'm ready for it."
Yeah.
Because I had asked.
Yeah.
When you open and you're open to receive, the universe is gonna gift you
Yeah. Every time.
every time.
Well, it also takes like the belief too. When you shut down the belief, I feel like that closes down the doors. You have to be open and to receive, you know?
Absolutely. And so Yeah, open to receive. I mean, doing yoga is good.
Yeah, I
You
need to
know,
get back into that a little
doing
bit
some
more.
yoga. I know you're a
Yeah.
good workout.
Yeah, I've been doing that. That's helping.
Getting back in the groove.
Mhm.
You know, and we're getting back in the groove here too. It's been crazy here.
Mhm.
You know, we went from all your gigs shut down, but then as you're shutting down, literally, I'm asking for more help. We went viral.
Mhm.
As the pandemic hit, we freaking skyrocketed, and I haven't
Mhm.
been able to catch up since then. I mean, we've got 50 orders that we just got over the weekend,
Mhm.
and so we're still on this high
Yeah.
right now, kicking, and we're just getting the good stuff out to people. I mean, this high quality moringa.
Mhm.
How do you feel? You like moringa, right? You take
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, you gave me the. It's not over there, but it was a bag of pills.
Capsules?
Capsules, yeah, and I noticed, like it's weird. Sometimes I would notice that, like, oh, you got them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, where they at? There they are, baby.
Yeah, got the starter kit.
It wasn't like a. I don't know. Everybody feels and reacts differently to things, but from the Moringa, what I felt was like it kind of like lifts the fog. I don't know. Like I'd find myself just like kind of just like, oh man, I can't really like think clearly or something. Something just like feels off, and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't take those capsules today. You know what I mean? And then literally I would take it, and then I would kind of forget about it, and all of a sudden I'm just like alert, and all the things are flowing, and all things are going, and I'm like, whoa, what happened to? Oh, that's what happened differently. I just took them like 45 minutes ago or something. So it's like,
People say that a lot.
yeah,
That's a big thing.
yeah, it really
Clarity,
is. Yeah.
because it's inflammation in the brain, but also
Mhm.
what that is that's the blood getting to your brain.
Yeah.
It doesn't thin the blood, but it helps with circulation. So when you're helping with circulation and you're getting that mucus out of the blood,
Mhm.
you're able to think better.
Oh yeah.
It relieves tension and headaches, and you can take it in many ways. So you like the capsules?
That's where I started. I think I might want to go to like the oil. I
Oh,
think
the
I might
oil.
want to get to the oil.
Yeah, we do have pure oil.
Yeah.
I mostly
What's
right
this
now
here?
that's the extract.
Yeah, that the oil or the extract. I want to get into that because I just feel like I don't know, in my beliefs and my things, I feel like that's more pure than having to digest those capsules and stuff. So that's what I'm gonna start getting into is
Yeah, I
the
mean this is really
extract.
pure. I mean
Yeah.
the capsules are just straight leaf, but I know what you mean. Like just
Just the
taking the
gelatin
the
and stuff.
gelatin.
Yeah, yeah.
It is vegetable,
Yeah.
vegan, non-GMO,
Oh,
HPMAC,
I know the quality is great of that
HPMC.
stuff. I wasn't talking about like the
Yeah,
quality of
yeah,
the capsules. I'm just talking about even like the delivery method, and that is
I
probably
know.
10 times stronger than those
It
pills.
is, and faster.
Yeah.
And this is, within 30 minutes, but you got to
Mhm.
drink a lot of water with it. This can dry you out a little bit.
Yeah.
This is, preserved
Yeah.
also forever because it's in the alcohol. This
Mhm.
is alcoholic, slightly. It's what preserves it. What we did was we took 190 proof organic grapeseed alcohol. We put fresh leaves in a can with that in a jar. We let that sit for a year. And then that liquid, that alcohol, is in there diluted with water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. I hope you didn't take. I wasn't trying to say like your capsules are bad.
No,
It's not. Just in general, like I always prefer like liquid things more than capsules or pills, just because it's like it's a direct thing. Like when it's liquid, it goes right into your blood instead
yeah,
of having to go through all your digestion and stuff like
no, it's
that.
true.
So
And
that's
that's
what
why
I.
we have the different delivery methods because
Yeah.
people's like,
Yeah, some people
what's the
don't like the
best?
taste. I don't give a shit. I know if it's gonna go right in and it's gonna be effective. I don't care what it tastes like,
I love that.
But some people are like, oh, I
No.
don't want to taste it, so a pill's easy. Boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
this
boom.
is
It's easy.
bitter.
Yeah.
Well, bitter the
Good.
better. That
Yeah, I
raises the
know.
pH. That's
Yeah.
alkaline. That means you're too used to sugar.
Uh
As
huh.
soon as I got off of sugar,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, the slightest things, the fruit tasted more sweet.
Oh yeah.
Like as soon as I stopped drinking sodas and everything, like even just a piece of fruit would just get me salivating.
Yeah.
Even now I get excited over like a cantaloupe or a pineapple or
Mhm.
something, or even like a mango, before I might have wanted something really sweet,
Yeah.
like candy or something. But
Yeah, I'm glad we cut those things out.
cut those things
Sodas and high
out.
fructose, man. So horrible for the body.
Yeah,
And people don't realize it.
yeah.
It's crazy. I remember one of my bosses from the vitamin shop. Oh, yeah, that's how I got into a lot of things too. I worked at the
Nice.
vitamin shop for a while. I forgot about
Oh
that.
wow.
That was a whole
Lots of
time of
side
my life.
jobs.
Yeah, well, that was like one of my only jobs I had before I went like full music or whatever, was a vitamin shop, and that was cool because it just like enlightened me to all the different possibilities. But even then, I saw that like everybody's looking for the quick fix and they're not looking for like the
Yeah.
solid maintain. Like it takes work. You can't just like take a pill and fixes everything. Like this stuff definitely helps and aids, but it's all like you still have to like eat right, and like this is just like an accelerator. It's like you take
Nice.
it, and then everything is working good that you're doing behind the scenes, and you take this and it just accelerates it to the next level. But the dude at the vitamin shop was freaking drinking almost like, I think he said something outrageous, like 2 liters a day of like Dr. Pepper.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
just pounding them, and all of a sudden I see this dude like 5 or 6 years later, and he's dropped like 75 pounds. I'm like,
Really?
yo, dude, what the heck did you do differently? He's like, oh yeah, I stopped drinking sodas.
No way.
I'm like, holy shit,
That was the first thing I
75
did.
pounds?
No way.
Yeah.
Dang.
Because he was drinking 2 liters a day, you know what
Holy
I mean?
crap.
And like it's just insane how people can down that stuff.
That's too much sugar,
Yeah.
man. I'm glad that you eat really well. It's one of the reasons why I really love being around you, because we can have, holidays,
Yeah.
and we can hang out for dinner, and it's
Mhm.
just
I'm gonna worry
you
about the
know we
differences.
respect everybody and their
Yeah.
choices. We
Oh yeah.
love hanging out with
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh
we
yeah.
we do it. Like, you went to the barbecue,
Yeah.
I went to a barbecue,
Mhm.
it's like,
There's no judgment on anybody.
no,
Yeah.
but
Just makes it easier when people are aligned.
it
You don't
is.
have to really think about it.
Yeah, and
And I'm grateful for that for my band too, because they all eat somewhat healthy, you know what I mean? But and once again, there's no judgment on anybody else, but like a lot of bands, when it's just quick, they're like, oh yeah, let's just pull through Wendy's, or let's just pull through McDonald's and fast food, the whole entire tour, you know what I mean? And meanwhile, we're here in like the back of the trailer with a rice cooker and a little wok, like cooking up our rice and beans and veggies and stuff like that. Or we get to somebody's house and we'll sit down and make a full meal and stuff like that, and they're all on board to like eat a good wholesome meal
that's
instead of
awesome.
just the quick fix of going to get some kind of freaking some fast food or
Well, that's how
garbage
you
like
guys
that.
are aligned.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have the same morals and the
Mhm.
ideals, and I'm just loving your connection that you're making with the food, music, and then also just with the foundation that you linked up with. What was the name of it again?
Linked.
Linked.
ly2nk.org.
Okay,
They're from Canada.
ly2nk.org.
Yeah, ly2nk. Yep.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. So yeah, that'll be cool once the COVID relief is done and we've helped them get food and stuff. Then we transition back into making that, and that'll be really awesome, dude. A 30-acre sustainable freaking high school. We don't even have that out here.
So that plan is already in place.
Yeah, it's already in place. Yeah,
Wow.
it's been in place. And what we're doing is there's like 30 people and we gather every week. And it's really cool to see like how he organizes everything and how everything is done and how everything is ran. So I'm also learning a lot. I'm getting trained and developed in how to run things. So I'm
Mhm.
learning every time I'm meeting with them. But there's 30 people and they'll organize into different pods, and then we'll say, okay, you take care of this pod, you do this thing, you do that thing, and it's 5 people taking on one task instead of one person taking on the task.
Mhm.
But then when you have 30 people, you're getting 6 tasks taken care of by 5 different people, so it's like you're getting a lot accomplished. And yeah, so that's the next thing. They just got, I think they already have like 10 acres bought, and they're working on the next 20 acres to buy.
Wow.
And then it goes from there. I think the water treatment will probably be the first thing that goes in, because there's
Mhm.
no sewage. You can't just hook into the city line
Mm-mm.
or
Mm-mm.
anything. And then we got to set up all like the solar power and stuff like that, because well, they'll run off the. It's weird. Like out there, they have things that are called like brownouts. So you could just be like going along your day, and then, oh, guess what? Your electricity's shut off for 6 hours because it's just
Dang.
not working.
Dang. Just
Just deal with
overload.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like it's not, the system isn't in place to just have it running 24/7. So it could just
Right.
shut off on you whenever. So
Dang.
there has to be that backup power thing that's going in place. And then one of the ladies that's Tatiana, she was a teacher through high school. Like that was her whole career. She was teaching in high school, so she's gonna like work to create the curriculum and everything. But it's just a place, because half the kids, they get to like elementary school or middle school, and then that's all their
That's
school.
it.
That's it. And you just have to go out and live life. You know what I mean? Where this is going to give them that next level, and not only is it going to give them the education, but now they're seeing how they can grow their own food and how they can like make their community sustainable, so that they can go build that in their backyard. And then when this pandemic hits, they don't have, or anything else hits, they're already good to go. They already have their food. They already have their system set up, and then like they're empowering the youth so that that child that has another child can teach their child how to do that, and then it just like elevates the whole entire thing.
It's all about education.
Yeah, it's like you can't. It's better to teach someone how to fish than to give them the fish.
I'm saying that. I'm
Yeah.
saying that so much with the way that we're setting up this co-op, and people are coming to us all the time. asking if we do this and we do that. And we're
Yeah.
mostly trying to tell people that each person that's in the co-op is their own farmer,
Yeah.
and that they need to be responsible for their trees,
Mhm.
so it's decentralized. And yeah, that's where those systems kind of come into place. Resiliency,
Yeah.
and that's going back to this moringa tree. Moringa tree was one of the most resilient trees that you can grow, and then to grow it there, possibly too on that property,
It would be
possibly
pretty awesome.
feed the.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be a part of possibly the architecture team that helps to design
Yeah, that'd be
the
awesome.
site.
Yeah.
Like I'll provide my time and services for that. Like,
Well, that's good to know. I didn't think about that.
yeah,
Yeah, I should get you in on the calls.
yeah,
Be
get me in
part
on
of
the
the team.
calls. We'll get in, and so I'm really glad that you came by today.
Yeah.
You said we got a little bit of time crunch. I mean, it's already kind of past the time.
Yeah.
It's
We can
already
wrap
like
it up.
9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
man.
gotta.
Anything else you wanted to share about yourself? Let people know about what's going on with you. I mean, pretty much told your
No.
story,
Yeah,
man.
just the band. I mean, we never said the name. The band is Ajeva.
Ajeva.
Ajeva. Just check us out, follow us, do all the likes, and give us some Spotify streams. Check out
Spotify.
the
You guys are on
albums. Yeah,
Spotify. So
Apple,
Ajeva.
iTunes,
How do you spell
all those
Ajeva?
things. Ajeva.
Awesome.
Yep. And so they're on all. I don't. I think the only one we're not on is maybe like Pandora and Amazon or something. 'Cause you have to sell a certain amount. But yeah, you can go to Spotify or Apple Music,
Spotify, Apple.
YouTube. We're all out on those, and just follow us. We'll be putting out content. We won't have any shows anytime soon,
Hey,
but
but you guys are doing lives,
yeah, we've been
Facebook
doing some
lives.
lives. Yeah.
I love that. I was just driving down the street and you're like, "Hey, check out my live." I went on it. I'm driving and you guys are jamming. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, this is nice."
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then food business. That's on hold because there's no big events or anything. But you can check that out. Pure Vita Organics. We're on Instagram and Facebook and
Do you
stuff.
guys have a menu? Can anybody order anything?
No, we're trying to figure that part out too. How to do like some
Yeah.
kind of delivery thing.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay, somebody
next
could put
step
in an
there.
order for cookies or
Yeah.
something, and you could make a couple $100,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
off of an order like that, like
Yeah.
brownies or something.
Yeah, that's how we're trying to figure it out. But I'm not the cook. She's the one doing it, and we have that. We have our little man Molokai, and he's like a year and a half now, so
Wow.
it's just full time work. It's like, yeah, okay, we got an order for 30 desserts, and she's like, all right, I'm over here changing a diaper. Like, I don't know how to make this shit. I'm just the organizer, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll work on it. It'll get out there soon, within time, and
All right.
eventually we'll have the cafe open out here on the property one day, right?
Yes. Yes. Heck yeah. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been talking about the plans here,
Uh-huh.
man. I'm excited to have you, the family, just all together here. Like,
Mhm.
being here has been really great. Just for me, decompressing. It's quiet. We get to hear the chickens in the morning.
Mhm.
This beautiful sunrise. Like, we're just building every day. I'm just like, I can't believe where we are right now. Like, I'm
Mhm.
just so in shock. So it's still kind of hitting. We've been cleaning up a lot, and we got a lot more videos coming out. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll put all the links down in the descriptions for everybody to see. So
I think the only other thing is just like be grateful for what you have, because we're not really promised tomorrow. And so it's like live. I know it sounds cliche, but just like live your life to the fullest, because anything could really happen, and just like let everybody around you know how much you love them and appreciate them, and just be kind to everybody else, and don't really place your judgment. And that's what we're facing right now, is everybody's just judging everyone and separating, and there's all this separation, and it's just like that's old, man. Like if we want to change the dream of the planet, we have to change the dream like within ourselves. So just like we got to just start working on ourselves, and just really just just be humble, and just like be righteous, and just live authentically, and live your life with integrity. If you say you're going to do something, like do it, hold yourself accountable, and just like work together to change. And it's time to just like come together. Like we're all the same people, man. We got to just stop fighting, acting like we're not the same thing, you know?
hmm
Just be cohesive, and let's just make the world a better place.
I mentioned something to you yesterday, actually, about how everything leading up to yesterday was separation. Because the the Earth and the Sun were moving further apart up until 4th of July. The Independence Day actually marks the day in which the Earth and the Sun are the furthest apart. And it's funny that you're saying bringing everybody together, bring everybody together. Guess what? The Earth and the Sun are coming back together. So I feel like we're going to start seeing that shift, not just planetary, but here on Earth too. Just we're all going to start coming together. Elections are coming up. We're going to start figuring out who we're going to all vote for, and that brings the country together. So introduce something to divide us. Now we got something to bring us together. I feel like the next half of 2020 is going to be really beautiful, and it's going to bring everybody together. I'm glad that you're here, brother. It's been great having you here, man.
Back at you.
Thank you, man. So, happy Moringa Monday.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Cool. Good work.
Thanks, brother. That was good.